Hi, my name is Janelle, and as you know, I have worn many hats throughout the different chapters of my life. One of the hats that I have been wearing and have worn for 14 years now is a learning specialist, and I'm working with intellectually gifted individuals that have a perceptual talent. There's a piece that I want to bring awareness to. The piece I want to bring awareness to is that when these individuals, it's a perceptual talent, as I said, it's a gift in the truest sense. When these individuals enter school, they are often the ones that struggle working with language and or symbols, so math symbols, writing in general. They will be ones that will look like they are struggling in academics and will be needing special help. This perceptual talent, if we look at this and how it works, we understand how we can teach this individual in a way that doesn't create a problem. Individuals with this perceptual talent often have or can be labeled with dyslexia. They will have dyslexic symbols. They can have dyslexia in math, so dyscalculia. They will struggle putting math together, following a sequence, creating order within a problem. It can just be all over. They can struggle getting their thoughts. They have great thoughts, great ideas, brilliant ideas, creative ideas. They struggle either turning them into words when they're telling somebody about it and or putting it into writing. In the space where I'm wearing my learning specialist hat, I have realized that if we give language and or math, so anything with symbols, if we give learning in a way to these visual spatials, this gifted group, in a way that their brain wants to see and work with symbols, that wants to see and work with language, then we don't have a problem. We don't have dyslexic symptoms. We don't have dyscalculia symptoms or dysgraphia symptoms. What we have is individuals that learn to work with themselves. How do I learn? And not just am I tactile or visual or experiential, those are learning the way we can learning styles, the way we get the information into our brain. But what's my brain want to do with it once it's in there? That's a cognitive process. And if we understand how somebody's cognitive process works and speak to that, then learning is easy. And this group is about 30 to 35% of the individuals on the planet that have this perceptual gift, often are found in our reading or special helps group. That's the part that I want you to hear from me, is that it doesn't have to be that way. We can give a quick assessment. It's super easy. Kindergarten, first, second grade. And through this assessment, we can see what's their cognitive process. If they're that visual spatial gifted perceptual talent individual, then we can tailor their kindergarten, first, second grade to them. Not complicated. It doesn't mean we have to totally build a new system. We just need to bring in a few different pieces so that they're getting the learning through the lens and through the way that their brain wants to process. Once we're working with them and then they're understanding, oh, this is how I work, then they're not trying to shove themselves into a box, so to speak, into a system or a learning style that just isn't designed for them. I had a young client tell me, I'm just upside down. There's something wrong with my brain. Those were her words. And I said, no, there's nothing wrong with your brain. I said, that math book is written for somebody that processes very linearly, and that's great for them. We don't need to recreate anything for the 70-ish% of the population. That works for them. What we need to do, I said, if we had a book written for you, and I'm speaking to my client, if this book was written for you and the others were looking at it, they would feel upside down and like something was broken in their brain. There's nothing broken. You just perceive and operate in a different way. When we understand the mechanics, the why behind the struggle, we can see that actually there's a gift that lies there. And if we quit trying to force this group of people, this talented, gifted group of people, into this linear box and work with them from the way they understand language and symbols and work in their way, then the problems cease to exist. Now, doesn't that make sense? So why is it so hard? We go and we set it. Why is it so hard to do? It's not hard to do. So where's the glitch? Because we're stuck. The system is struggling to see. They want to bring in, okay, so you struggle with language. Let's just use the reading piece. You struggle with reading. Now, okay, so let's break it down. Let's get the phonetics, the phonemes. Let's just master all these, and then you'll be able to do language. So we've basically taken the linear idea and we've just done it again and again and again for the same group of people where linear didn't work in the first place for. Why are we doing that? This to me is insanity. Einstein said the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Diving into the stats, go online and start going, okay, what are the statistics? What we're using in our school systems, in our reading programs, in our special reading programs to support those that are not up to grade level. We're taking the same linear approach and we're getting in 1 year's time, being in these programs, 50 to 60 is the best growth percent of that will come from wherever they are to their grade level. That still means that 25 to 30% and more are not, and they're still struggling desperately. That's what, around 30 million kids? What can we do? These kids don't need to struggle. In the 14 years that I've done this, when we give language, no matter what the age is, they can be kindergarten, first, second grade, they can be high schoolers, they can be adults. When we give language to individuals that are struggling with language in the way that their brain wants to see it, the problem goes away. How about that? The problem goes away. So I want to bring awareness to you that this is what I've observed. This is what I've experienced. So I'm dyslexic and I have an auditory processing disorder, and I went through the system and it doesn't work. It creates a belief that you will not succeed in academics, that it will always be hard. This is not a gift space for you. And it creates this picture of an untrue picture of what your capabilities are. The other criminal part to it is it embeds a massive amount of shame and guilt, because you're trying so hard, but you don't realize why you're not succeeding. You don't understand how you work. So therefore, there's so much guilt and shame. And then that carries on into the confidence that people have when they're making decisions as adults. A lot of self-sabotage. I see that in my clients. I saw it in myself because of our experience when we were learning to read. And this applies to like the dyslexia in math and writing as well. We don't have to be there. We don't have to be experiencing that. This group of people are our innovators. They're our creators. They're our problem solvers. So when we give them the ability to learn the way they learn and they process information, they get the best of both worlds. They're going to be, instead of in the bottom percent, they're going to be in our top percent. That's what we've seen. If we could move together to create an awareness and a movement that we can teach and do things differently, and it's simple. I just can't get over how simple it is. Then we don't need to have this reading disability. We don't need to have dyslexia, dyscalculia. We'll have the gift, we'll have the perceptual talent, but the symptoms that keep people really stuck and struggling, that doesn't need to be here. This just doesn't need to be here. So reach out to me at janell@janellray.com and let's have a conversation. How can I help you if you have struggled with academia? Let's talk. There's some simple ways to help you shift past that, learn about yourself. There's things that you're ready to grow into if this is resonating with you. Also, you may know others. Let's just spread it like wildfire, that there's a way we can work with who we are without the struggle anymore. So it's awesome. It's exciting. And I look forward to talking with you.